Get ready for the dictation on the count of 3, 2, 1, start. Economic liberalization in India refers to the economic reforms that took place in India during the 1990s and early 2000 with the goal of opening up the Indian economy to greater competition, private investment, and foreign trade. These reforms were initiated by the Indian government under Prime Minister P.V. Narasimha Rao and his Finance Minister Dr. Manmohan Singh, who later became the Prime Minister of India. The reforms aimed to shift the Indian economy from a heavily regulated and controlled socialist model to a more market driven and globally integrated model. The reforms included measures to reduce government intervention in the economy, such as the elimination of licensing requirements of business, the relaxation of foreign investment restrictions, and the devaluation of the Indian currency. They also included financial sector reforms aimed at improving the efficiency and stability of the banking system and capital markets. The results of these reforms have been mixed. On the one hand, they have led to increased economic growth and investment in India and helped the country to become one of the fastest growing economies in the world. On the other hand, some argue that the reforms have also led to increased inequality, with the benefits of growth not being equally distributed. In conclusion, economic liberalization in India has been a significant turning point for the country's economy, making the shift towards a more open and market oriented economic system. While the effects of these reforms have been mixed, they have generally been seen as a positive development for India's economy and have helped to position the country as a major player on the global economic stage. Economic liberalization in India has had a profound impact on the country's economy, leading to increased growth and investment as well as greater integration with the global economy. However, there have also been some challenges and controversies associated with the reforms. One of the key benefits of economic liberalization in India has been increased economic growth. Since the reforms were introduced, India's gross domestic product GDP has grown at an average annual rate of around 7%, making it one of the fastest growing economies in the world. This growth has been driven by a number of factors, including increased investment, higher levels of foreign trade, and improved economic efficiency. Another positive impact of economic liberalization has been increased foreign investment in India. With the liberalization of investment restrictions, foreign companies have been able to invest more freely in the Indian economy, leading to increased capital inflows and the creation of new jobs. This has also helped to spur innovation and technological advancement as foreign companies bring with them new technologies and best practices. However, economic liberalization in India has also been associated with some negative impacts. For example, some argue that the reforms have increased economic inequality in India, with the benefits of growth not being evenly distributed across the population. There have also been concerns about the impact of liberalization on the country's agriculture sector, with the small farmers struggling to compete with larger, more efficient agribusinesses. Additionally, the liberalization of the financial sector has been associated with increased financial instability as the banking sector has become more vulnerable to market volatility and external shocks. The government has implemented a number of measures to address these concerns, including the stricter regulation of the banking sector and increased social safety nets for the most vulnerable populations. In conclusion, economic liberalization in India has been a major turning point for the country's economy, bringing with it both benefits and challenges. Despite the controversies and challenges, the overall impact of the reforms has been positive, leading to increased economic growth, investment, and competitiveness. The Indian government will need to continue to monitor and adjust the reforms in order to maximize their benefits and address any negative impacts in order to ensure a sustainable and inclusive economic growth for the country. Another key aspect of economic liberalization in India has been the opening up of the country's markets to foreign trade. With the removal of trade barriers and the devaluation of the currency, Indian companies have been able to increase their exports and compete more effectively in global markets. This has been particularly beneficial for the country's manufacturing and technology sectors, which have seen significant growth as a result of increased access to foreign markets. However, the benefits of economic liberalization have not been evenly distributed across all sectors of the Indian economy. For example, some small and medium sized enterprises (SMEs) have struggled to compete with larger, more established companies and have been impacted by the increased competition from foreign firms. This has led to calls for the government to implement measures to support SMEs, such as tax breaks and access to finance, in order to help them compete more effectively. In recent years, the Indian government has also been focused on addressing some of the challenges associated with economic liberalization. For example, the government has taken steps to address the issue of income inequality by increasing social spending on education and healthcare, and by implementing labor reforms to improve working conditions and job security. Additionally, the government has been working to improve the business environment in India by reducing bureaucracy and streamlining processes. This has been aimed at making it easier for companies to set up and operate in India and to attract foreign investment. These efforts have been successful in improving the ease of doing business in India, which has helped to attract more investment and create jobs. In conclusion, economic liberalization in India has been a complex and multifaceted process with both benefits and challenges. Despite the challenges, the overall impact of the reforms has been positive, leading to increased economic growth, investment, and competitiveness. The Indian government will need to continue to monitor and adjust the reforms in order to maximize their benefits and address any negative impacts in order to ensure a sustainable and inclusive economic growth for the country